Yeah, too easy. Let me know. Start us
All
off.
right, hey everyone, welcome back to Evony with Gangus. We got a special interview with Spedlord. People have been asking for this one for a while, so we're going to start it out. And Spedlord, let's start with your introduction. So, in a previous thing, I said you were one of the founding members of RSP, and what I meant by that was like you were there when it first started, like that was your first server. Is that true?
No, I wasn't I'd be OG compared to what RSP is now, but I definitely wasn't founding. Wasn't first server. I joined around probably June 2022. It's definitely been a few years. Um, yeah, it's been a long time since I've been there. I joined one around Glorfindel. I was actually part of Glorfindel's original server in our 606.
Okay, so that's how you came
Um,
over. So how does that process work? Tell people how it works when people recruit you to come play on a big alliance.
Yeah, so I was playing with Glorfindel for a while on his original server in 606. And one day Glor made the decision to because we weren't too big in 606. We were a great team, but it was a very underdog style team. And Glor made the decision to join RSP when I think it was GEDC, who's back in RSP now, but GEDC was selling his original kit back then in RSP. And Glorfindel took that keep on. Um, and a couple of weeks later, he reached out to me, and there were a couple of these smaller four bill keeps available, and they were just looking for basically like nowadays, everyone they can join rallies quite fast and all of that. But back when that was going on, K40 had just come out, and we'd been going through a shift between slow pre-rain game plans from K35 to now K40. We've got to start speed setting. Um, so he was just looking for a couple of players that could really do that. So he reached out to me and some others in 606 to come join him. Um, and then so we went, so we went over there. And yeah, we just started playing with G. I saw with Law again, and then with Sing. Um, and it was really good. Definitely learned a lot from
So is
there.
there like I know they're probably not at the time, but spending requirements. Have you heard about these on alliances that do this
Yeah,
now?
yeah, yeah. Nowadays, there's a lot of spending requirements these days.
I've heard of some that are
The video
like you have to
teams, yeah,
spend 10 grand.
yeah. Oh, I haven't heard about 10 grand.
Yeah.
I'd say there isn't back then. No, there wasn't. It was Gore helped me a lot. Basically, like he maintains the account a bit with his own farms. And the requirement was essentially have March speeds. So spend about $5 a week, get gems, make sure you have March speeds. That was the requirement. Um, but yeah, now there's like you've got. I wouldn't say there's an official requirement, but it's definitely an unspoken agreement. It's like one, we probably wouldn't come talk to you if you weren't spending a cake a week. Um, and two, like if you do buy in, we are expecting you to spend a cake a week. We're not going
Right.
to say spend a cake a week, but like
Okay,
do
so
it.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
skip ahead here. I have a bunch of topics wrote, but you said Glor maintained your account, so let's get to right to freeloading. So
Yeah.
so you quit and the
We're expert
game,
at
and now you've
that.
become the ultimate
Yeah.
freeloader. Lots of people have followed in your footsteps, including
I
Viper,
have
who we'll
been.
touch on in a little
Yeah.
bit. So
Mm.
basically, the deal now is like you spend nothing. All these people buy these accounts, and they're too busy to play, so they just get people like you to play
Yeah.
for them.
Mm. Yeah. It's definitely have seen a lot more fillers recently. Like the first time I did it was about a year and a half ago. I just played an All Stars for someone. Um, but now, yeah, everyone's doing it these days. It's definitely a smart thing to do because it's a lot less stressful to just
Yeah, for
log in and play
sure.
Evony.
You got no skin in
Um,
the game, no
like I just
stress.
no, I log in. I've just played All Stars
And if
for
anyone
the
makes
last
fun
four
of
All
you,
Stars. I
you could
just
just
log
be
in.
like,
That's
yeah, but
it.
you pay to play.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's like you can call me. People have called me VIP cocksuckers and all of that. It's like, yeah, but I'm not the one spending 80 grand. Like I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm having fun. I'm playing Ebony.
So,
Doesn't really
so
matter to
you
me.
touched on another one of my topics, DOA, where you when you left RSP,
Hmm.
you went to be and like
Yeah.
they paid you to play, like funded your account. You played
No,
All
no,
Stars
no,
for
no.
them. They didn't pay you cash, but they
Yeah,
funded your
so
account and stuff.
no, no, definitely not. Yeah, so we had a plan with it. It was a bit of a story, but Lewis and I, LWZ, we were really good mates, and he was in Ukraine during back when the war. It's still going on, obviously, but the war was a lot bigger a couple of years ago. And he was in Ukraine at the time, so they wanted me to play an All Stars for him. So I did that with him, and then after we won, he was quite happy, and he wanted to see if we could get DOA a bit bigger because obviously it's just an island team. It was him and a Hammer course, if you remember him.
Yeah,
So they
yeah,
were
of
trying to just
course.
build up new accounts. So yeah, he did they did build back when Pink Gyms was a thing. They loaded up a new account for me and a couple. We were trying to just recruit a couple others as well, but it started with my one, and yeah, they loaded that one up a lot. Obviously with Pink Gyms.
So and then DOA, they were like the one alliance that got hit hard with pink gems, and all the people just quit. They just walked away.
We were, I think every alliance got hit hard, but we definitely got the short end of the stick because Lewis and Hammer, they were both VIP 25s without pink gems. Most VIP 25s at that time, like a lot of them were using pink gems to hit that 25 threshold, but both Lewis and Hammer, like they had used their legitimate money to hit that. And then they started using a bit of pink gems when it came, and they still got wiped. So that's why they got really upset and they just left.
But they
Because
just quit and
most
walked away. They
VIP
did not
25,
rebuild.
yeah, well, yeah, I mean, they're both of those guys are probably like I'd say I'd wager both of them in the top five in terms of actual net worth. So like Evony to them, like a lot of people, Evony is their life. To those two, it was just a hobby. Like they were happy to just walk away. Like they had the disposable income to dump six figures each on the game. And once their account was banned, they're like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm done. I'm walking away.
So are those accounts like dead, like deleted, or is someone else playing them now?
Um, I'm not sure. I think they're still alive. They're probably like 20 bill. The last I saw, Hannah was like 40 bill, and I think someone else is playing it. But I'd highly doubt anyone has been spent on either of those accounts in the last 2 years. Like both the two great men, Lewis and Rick, they've both left the game.
Yeah. And then you talked about pink gems. Do you think the impact that pink gems, like what happened back then, still matters
Oh,
today? Like you can
easily,
look at an account and be like, yeah, but you have an
easily.
advantage because of that.
Yeah, easily. Pink Gems. It's basically set up. Like a lot of people are going to argue. Like I've still got some friends in these alliances as well, and I'll still say that they're wrong. But Pink Gems has definitely continued to help those teams that abuse them at the start. Like you see with ISP and Vig. Obviously they've done they've done a lot since Pink Gems, but Pink Gems like built a strong base for them. Um, like you could argue now that you get so much more in one pack than what a pink gem pack got you back then. But the fact was that you got that initial 400 to 500% buff increase from pink gems, and then you spent money again later and you got all of your troops and gems back. So now you've spent money back with pink gems period, and basically that's for free now because you're spending the money again later and you haven't gotten any of the repercussions. So it's well, you've seen what's happened with Vegan RSP. They're both a trill power, 1 trillion power these days. Um, and you could say, oh, well, they were both fucked from pink gems after the punishments came. But yeah, like they both recovered within 4 months because they spent the money and they got the power back and they got the gems back. And it wasn't like they had to pay 18K to get stuff back. They paid 18K in packs. So you were still getting the benefits from your spending, but you also got your troops and your gems back.
Yeah, that's what lots of
So all
people
of the
don't
resources you get from
understand.
those packs as well,
You
just the
got new
buildings.
packs that counted towards your debt to get everything back.
Yeah,
And you got to keep
but you still
everything.
got the
And you
stuff from it.
basically got a
Yeah,
thousand
yeah,
percent buffs over everybody.
yeah. So
But I don't
all
want
of the
people get bored
resources
with
and the
that sort of
gems.
stuff. You brought it up. It's your fault.
Yeah, exactly.
So one other thing you talked about was these two Ukrainian guys in DOA. You said they were just like crazy rich, and this was a hobby to them. Uh,
Yeah, sure.
I'm of the belief, like, of course, obviously there are some people who are really rich in Ebony, but I'm of the belief that a lot of the top, not necessarily the top players in every alliance, because it's not sustainable, but in lots of top alliances,
Yeah.
like the middle level people is just dead,
Mm.
just trying to keep up with
Yeah, you
their
could
leader
say.
level.
I think with Aptoide and the other stuff these days, it's easier to spend. But I think you could definitely be onto something. I'd say a lot of like the VIP, a lot of the 20s, you could say the 21s might be overspending what they can spend, like credit card debt, as you were mentioning. But I think the 25s, like anyone that's VIP 25 is probably fine in your life. Like if you've got the type of like VIP 25 is like 100 grand, you've got to have. I'm not
Oh,
sure anyone's
100
sane enough
grand.
to just go
VIP
onto Tet over
25
Evony.
is. I went from VIP 22 to 23, and it was like 40 grand maybe.
Is it 40 grand? There you go. It's so much more than that.
So like 20
Yeah,
VIP
so that much.
25 has to be like 700 grand.
Yeah, well, it's that much. I'd assume they have some sort of money. Like they'd have to be insanely rich. I don't think any of these guys are going credit card, but the
No, no,
lower
like
guys might be
you're
definitely
right.
outspending.
Like you get to a certain point where like a credit card can't sustain that. Like no credit card has a
Yeah, yeah,
500,000 limit.
yeah, yeah. I'd say it's more like emotional depth. Like people spend too much time. They forget their relationships in real life. Like that's probably the easiest thing about just playing once every all stars is that my wife doesn't give a fuck anymore. Like she used to be quite upset if I have to play, especially on BOC Sundays. Like we'd have a beach day in the morning, and then I have to sometimes I'd hide on the beach day to try and play BOC and RSP. But well, you see people doing that now still, and that's probably the bigger debt. It's that rather than the money, I'd say.
So what do you think of so this brings me to something I didn't think of, but fillers.
Yeah.
I hate fillers. And what
Mm,
I mean by that is I hate when an alliance plays for like 48 hours in SVS because they have like a group of 20
yeah.
people from different alliances rotating in and out. I hate that.
Yeah. Um, yeah, look, I'd say feathers for regular Battlefield is fine. Like, obviously, people have stuff going on, but yeah, like when you have, I'm very guilty of this as well. Like, I've been the guy getting feathers in to conquer people for 24 hours, but it definitely does fuck the game a tiny bit, and it's sort of like sometimes it makes it an SVS victory. I think mean a bit less now. Like a conquer is amazing, but when you rotate that many fillers in, it's more like a war of attrition at this point rather than we actually conquered you. It's more like we were able to play for those 24 hours now,
Yeah,
which I
like we
suppose
got
is
conquered a
part of
few times and
conquering.
it was
But
just like, okay, well, we fought you off and you came back. Like, we got to go to bed.
yeah, it's like at that point, we can't be fucked to play Ebony
Yeah.
anymore, and you guys still want to keep going. And I fillers enables that. And I'd say, yeah, I'm not, I've done it, but it's hypocritical because I've done it myself. But yeah, like, not the best for the game when you're able to rotate rosters into play.
Yeah. So retirements. Let's talk about that. There's been some big ones.
Yeah.
So obviously Viper,
Yes.
and you're
Yeah.
welcoming him, leading him into the community of fillers. Do you think that will
Yeah,
be
he's
enough for him, or will he have to? Will that sustain his
no,
addiction?
he's I don't think he'll quit. I don't think he'll come back fully. He's gonna fill, but he'll still play every single battlefield, I think, soon. Like he'll probably take a month off, but he is addicted to the game. He has been for a long time. Like I'd say when he says filling, it still means I'll play every BOG, every BOC, and SVS when we need, and all stars and Chalons. Like it's not like the only thing he's basically not doing is just managing the alliance anymore. I think. Um,
Yeah. Because
he'll
for
be
him,
okay.
it's not really even
He's
an
just
addiction to the game, and it's an addiction
it's a
to
lifestyle.
the
It's a
community,
routine. He loves the community.
like the
Yeah, he
community.
loves
Like,
a lot of
look at everything I've
yeah. He gets a lot of
accomplished.
attention. Yeah, he gets a lot of attention that he might not get in real life from this game, and
You don't
he
think
likes the
so?
people. So, oh, I know. So, I fucking know. If you spend that much time, I've seen that man ping at random times on Discord like 15 times now. Like you need to be touching some grass, mate. Like that's yeah. I won't say too much, but yeah.
No, look, I go through it too. Not now. I don't play as much, but I know. Like if I'm on like 12 hours a day playing, like my social life falls apart. Like I don't
No,
even
yeah,
want to have
he's
conversations with other people, like real people about other
no,
things. It's
yeah,
like, why are you talking to me? I'm
he's
looking at my
focused
phone.
on.
I'm clearly not interested.
I'm on Discord. It's like that exactly. And so yeah, it's just, but it's like it's hard to leave. I guess once you're that into it, like you've met so many people online, and you do develop a real relationship with some of them. So there's that.
Yeah. So, uh, I've had lots of interesting messages from people, multiple people. Do
Mm,
you think
yeah.
developers play the game still?
Oh, still. They have before.
Yeah, they used
Still,
to run up the score and get people to spend money.
they did,
But
yeah,
now
before, yeah,
Evany's
it
so
has been.
successful, they don't need
Yeah,
it.
it's hard. I'm not sure if they still have people. I mean, occasionally you see like some things that you just makes you go, what the fuck's going on?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a
I don't think they
story.
need to anymore.
I'm going to tell you a
Yeah.
story. So there one of the most famous players in Evony, a leader
Yeah.
of one of the most famous alliances, and it's not Viper who's
Mhm.
retiring. But I've got
Yeah.
lots of messages from lots of different people, and they've said,
Mhm.
"Do you think this guy works for Evony or for Evony's customer service? Because it's probably a third
Mhm.
party, right? Like it's probably not Evony who owns the customer service.
Yeah.
They probably rent it out."
Yeah.
And
No, it wouldn't be that.
this person has wrote multiple people and said, "Why are you submitting a ticket about me?" and shows them the ticket.
Oh.
And I've seen the
Uh,
screenshots of the tickets this person has
is
sent to them.
is this player?
I don't want to say who it is, but it's Oz.
Oh, I can confirm it's not a dev. I do like Oz lives quite close to me. We're only about half an hour drive away from each other. He's
So
not.
how's he doing this?
He
How's
does
he
some stuff.
producing people's customer service
I
emails?
don't know. I don't know about that stuff. He
Like
has a lot of
I have
sources. He
one
knows a lot. He's a
theory.
great guy.
I have one theory, but then it happened too many times. Like too many people have showed me that I'm like, I don't know if this is possible. Because I asked follow-up questions. So my first theory when one person showed me, I'm like, okay, but he knows your real life name, right? He might know your real life email.
Yeah,
There's things you can do
yeah.
where like if I knew your email, I could send from
Mm-hmm.
my email and put the
Mm-hmm.
mirror so it appears it's coming from yours. And when Evany would
Oh, you can
reply,
spoof it. Yeah.
yeah, so I could
Right.
spoof them.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Is that?
then another person wrote me and I'm like, does he know your name? Does he know anything about you in real life? And they're like, absolutely nothing. And it happened again.
Wow. Oh, it's yeah. That's a sticky situation to navigate. Um, it's on to something. I don't think Oz is a dev though. But yeah, that sounds yeah.
So he's connected
Yeah,
in some way.
I'm not.
Maybe
I'm
that
sure
was
he's
the
got some.
deal when they threatened him at
He has
CoinStrike that they'll
connections.
give him this special power.
Oh, I'm not sure he's given any special powers about that. Oz is look. He's definitely got some connections with the devs. He's like again, he's one of the biggest names in the community. But I say he's not a dev. He's not a dev. He's he's been around
Do
for
you
long
think
enough.
Oz will be the
I'm not.
person most affected by Viper's retirement?
They're very good
Like
friends.
it could be positive
Um,
or negative.
yeah, I think look with Viper leaving, I think RSP might be able to be the best team now. Personally, I think yeah, I was obviously quite upset. Like, yeah, he's a very good friend of Vipers. But yeah, in terms of game, it's good to see if RSP can overtake Vic now as the best team in the game.
Yeah, it's good to
And I
see
think
turnover
Oz
and
is
these things change.
yeah,
You
yeah,
don't
like
think Neff will
Viper and Vic.
pop up there as number one?
I think that's a great team. Definitely in terms of skill. Uh, I've said a lot of stuff about them in the past, but I do respect them in terms of skill. But I don't think they've spent enough money to actually be able to match up
Yeah,
with
no, I think they've
RSP.
dropped off money. I
It's
think
not
like
just
many people, they've just said I can't
no,
compete right now, so why bother?
yeah, like they're just they C1's just a bit unmotivated, I suppose. I think CDI. I've seen some stuff about CDI, but to be honest, I think like I haven't been around for a while, but I did look at the Shalon's leaderboard, and I think RSP won that quite handily. So I'm not sure if anyone's going to come and challenge for a while.
Is CDI
Would need
the one with Seabone?
yeah, Seaburn
Seabone
and
and Josh,
Josh, I think
right?
it is. Yeah, Seaburn's great. Yeah, they're quite big from what I've seen, but I think the buffs are still just not there. But even buff regardless, I think Oz is a great setter, definitely a top five in my book. And I think he could get he'll be able to help RSP get over the hump of Vig.
So speaking of retirements and C1, did you hear the breaking news? Like about half an hour ago, I heard that X Wing announced his retirement on Mr. Yours' live stream.
Is that a GOTX thing? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Hmm. Um. He's a good guy. He's very smart. I think it's needed for GOT. I think they needed some leadership changes there. Uh, since Glorfinder's left, it just hasn't seemed the same. Um,
Well, any
that
alliance
does
when you
suck to
lose a
seeing another
VIP
person leave.
25 is never the same.
Yeah, yeah. But Glaw's, yeah, in addition to being a VIP 25, I think it hurt a bit more because it helped GOT so much. And he was like probably the best in the game as well. Like losing someone of that caliber is always going to really hurt.
Well, he saved
Um,
GOT. Like GOT was
yeah, I
on their
didn't.
way down, and then he
He
died.
did. He saved it. Yes. Yeah, he actually brought X-Wing into the team as well. GOT was like really in the mud, and then Glaw, and so was RSP. When when I first joined it, like they weren't in the mud, but they weren't beating any of the C1 teams until Glaw came. So he's really like he's just so good. But yeah, with X-Wing leaving, that's quite sad. Like you never want to lose big players. Um, we 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 need as many players as we can get in this game. There's not a lot these days.
Yeah, and he does things with like spreadsheets for the community too.
Yeah, he's an intelligent guy. I haven't spoken to him too much, but from the stuff I've seen, like a lot of people in this game aren't very smart, and he's definitely one of the few
They
people
just
that know what
press
they're doing.
attack.
So yeah, most people are like that. But X-Wing seems like he's actually like I've seen that spreadsheet you've talked about. Like he actually looks like he's gone into the game and he knows what's going on. So losing a mind like that is really going to hurt. But again, probably good for GOT. See if they can
What do
change
you
something
think
up.
of people who are big coiners in new servers and they're like
Yeah,
dominant, they're the best person on their server, and
yeah,
then they leave that
yeah.
to go join a big alliance and just press join rally.
Always you see, it's weird because most of them aren't very good. So it probably helps that they don't have to lead as much now. But it also sucks a bit because some of them do have upside. Some of them might like be really good, but then when they join those bigger teams, they never have roles. Like you're stuck. You're limited to now just being a rally filler. I think it's good to join a bigger team if you're from a newer continent to learn, but at the same time, it's also like you don't want to just join that team because they're the best, and then you're going to leave everything you've left behind because you could have so much to do in your new team like continent 5 and 6. You might win an all stars, like you might be a rally setter there. See, it's good to leave and learn, but it'd be better as well to make sure you still have your old kit so that you can do more rather than just
So
quickly join around.
when these people leave and then they go to these teams, do they just
Yeah.
do they just like dream of the three times a year when All Stars come around and they get to be a setter again?
Yeah, I do know a couple of them that are like that. I wouldn't say you like they're happy playing in the team. Like it's great experience. Like if you're in being an RSP or NFG, like it's good experience obviously to join into rallies, but it does get a bit mind numbing. And so yeah, like you always do want to wait. I think you could say most people are more excited for All Stars than for regular BSC. You know, I'd say like even you might be more happy to play.
I hate All
Um,
Stars.
and All Stars. You don't like All Stars.
No.
Is that more because of the lag and
Uh,
the other issues everybody has?
lag wasn't too bad this time around. I just hate it
Okay,
because, like, I don't know. It's like I have nothing to play
people.
for. I'm not going to get an Elder Scroll. I
No,
have all
yeah,
the
that's fair.
dragons, but I played
Yeah,
obviously because people are on my team and want me to. But then I have the you're a
yeah, you're gonna have to
YouTuber,
too.
so people try and like it used to be they
There's
wouldn't
almost
they it
scrutiny.
used to be they would target me and try to zero me, but now there's so many speeds in the
Yeah.
game. Now they just avoid hitting me, so I get no points.
There's still not a lot of scrutiny though, yeah, because of your name, obviously, in this game.
Yeah, whatever. It's an okay week. It's just whatever. But okay, so All Star format. You like it? You think it needs
Yeah.
change or what?
No, not to the format. I think the 14 format's been amazing. Um, it's prevented any point trading. As so, I think it's good. It's a good format. I would just like to see a slightly higher rally cap because offense sort of doesn't work anymore. Like 125 go rallies would be great because you can't really hurt people in all stars these days. The one thing I will comment about in format is I have noticed a recent trends in the last few all stars of people winning who aren't like doing much except healing. And it's I know it's heal stars, but when you see players heal and just get hit 40, 50 times and they win, it goes, do you really deserve that? Probably not. And so it's a part of it. Like I suppose I like in the aspect that it lets smaller players have a chance of getting glory. But at the same time, it just seems a bit wrong to win that way. Um, like if you join rallies and you port top a bit and you help your team and you rain, that's great. You deserve a win. But if you're healing 40, 50 times, you just get wailed on. It sort of goes like the Continent One winner this time was like that, I think. Um, and it just makes me go, what the fuck?
So
Um,
I have a problem with not necessarily the 4 team format, but
yeah.
how they do it. So
Mm,
like if you look at like Sir Philip, 175 billion,
mhm.
doesn't make
Yeah.
finals because no one will hit him. That's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the issue right now
How's like a
because
top
offense
10
is so
keep in the
weak.
game, maybe even higher, like
Yeah.
not make finals?
Mm. Yeah, like, offense is just too weak now. So the setter actually gets hurt a bit. If the setter can't win, basically, it really hurts them because offense is so weak they can't get any points on offense, and then you don't get hit, and so you get absolutely nothing. So that really fucking hurts, to be honest. I saw not even just like some like Vipers are great. Like we have our differences, but he's a good setter, and he only got eighth in his team for individual scores in finals. So he was sort of in the same boat as Phil. It's like I'm not actually getting that much points now, and
Who
yeah, I
was
think that's
that?
well, Viper.
Okay.
So that's why I was saying maybe we can make the rally cap 125 mil, and then you might see a little better offense, and hopefully the setter can get more points. Because right now, like you said, it seems like the people getting points are just the guys getting hit, and people like Phil. If your team's not
Yeah,
winning,
yeah,
the setter's
it's people with like
getting crushed.
decent keeps, but is deceiving and a bit better, and they can heal a lot. So
Yeah,
they're kind of like a
and you can
juicy
heal.
target.
I'd actually say it's actually better for bad keeps now. It's much better. The guy in my continent, so when the Warsaws I just played, the guy who came second in personal scores was a guy called King of Splat. And I hit him 30, 40 times in the battlefield. He had 400k points. His keep wasn't great. He was going negative on probably half the defenses, but we just hit him so much that he had 400,000 points. So I'd actually say it's good to be a bad keep now. It's good because even if your keep's bad in All Stars these days, you're not going to die.
Yeah, so
Like
there's
you'll
one
lose a bit,
other
but
one other
hopefully it's
big
zero.
issue I have with All Stars is people from the same server should be on the same team
Yes,
so they don't
that's a
attack
good
each
idea.
other. Because like so
You
in my
can't have any point trading
semifinal,
things.
we had a big argument on our team because
Mm-hmm.
Sir Philip came in and he's like, "Look, no one from Vig's setting on our team
Yeah,
because the other 3 teams have a
don't
Vig
want to let
setter,
them
and I
go.
don't think it's fair."
Yeah, no coordination exactly.
Yeah. So then they sent 3 different people to our team from Vig, and Phil was like, "No, no, no, no,
Mm,
no." And then finally, with like
mm.
12 hours left, they sent Khaled, and Phil's not
Yeah,
active online, so Phil doesn't come online till the
so
battle, and he's like, "What the f's happening? Like, why are you setting?" And then there was
yeah,
four
that's true.
setters from the one team, and
Yeah, that's
and
true.
like what like look, the geek account is awesome. Like obviously it
Mm.
should have been the setter, but I understand Phil's
Mhm.
sentiment on it. And
Yeah,
but they could just eliminate this, and they could eliminate the thought of people accusing people of trading, even if they're not, or pushing
yeah,
low teammates, right, by attacking them. By just saying
yeah.
you're
They
all on the
should.
same team. Or each server
Yeah,
can
I
only
think
have
that'd be
five
great.
all-stars.
I think the server having five all stars wouldn't be feasible because there's probably like six, seven teams that get more than 12 players in. But I think definitely it would help if they could try and get more players from one team on one. Say if you've got 10 players from big in the final, try put at least like four on a team, four, four,
Oh,
two,
I
two,
would put
something
all
like that.
10. If
Because
it's the
yeah,
finals, but the thing is
well, you could do
you
that, I
wouldn't get them
suppose.
all though. Because the first round is 4 matchups, right? So let's
Yeah,
pretend like
the
let's
issue for
pretend Vig
prelims
has
is that
16 people. So you put 4 in
yeah,
each matchup, all on the same team.
that'd work. Yeah,
And then in the semis, if there's 8, you put 4 in each matchup on the same team.
yeah. I think it worked well. I think they do need to adjust the fact that some teams are able to like control a battlefield because of how many players they have. But I think I like that idea. But yeah, it'd be hard to implement. I guess um, they should look into it though. They should. I like what you were saying there. Equally spread them out. I still think it's a bit hard. Like it's always going to be hard to work around with those logistics because so many teams get so many players into finals these
It's
days.
really only a few
Um,
alliances. Like RSP gets like 15
yeah, it's
people,
a few of the
Fig,
alliances,
and
but
maybe
those alliances
WQF.
have such good keeps.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those teams just have such good keeps, it just makes it hard. But yeah, like everything you're saying is 100% right. They do need to look into the fact that
And it's
like
just
that
human
there has
nature
been
that they're going to
those
help out
teams
their
have done stuff
teammates.
in All Stars as well. Yeah, and look, those teams have done things in All Stars before. Some of them, not all of them, but they have been known to coordinate a bit in
A
rounds.
bit.
So yeah,
I'm sure you've
yeah.
seen the
Oh,
same.
HLT,
I'm sure you've seen the
yeah,
same chat messages I have.
yeah, like yeah, it's never fun. I think
Like
what you're saying,
outright
it's solve it all.
coordinated,
It
saying,
remove
"Don't
all
worry about it. We're
time.
gonna push you. We're gonna hit you."
Yeah. Yeah, like what you're saying, at least it moved that if it was a team. That good. It give them peace of mind.
Yeah, and I blame Evany for it, not the players, because like I said, it's just human nature to help your teammate.
No, no, yeah. Yeah, like I completely if you've got a mate, especially in prelim, if you've got a mate that's ranked like, 50s on the leaderboard and the team's coming last, you'd probably want to hit them to help them get that dragon. Because like All Stars lasts for a week, but your team lasts forever. So
Yeah,
I
exactly.
understand why to hit it. Now, I think it's scummy, but I see why people do it.
Yeah, of course. Dragons are everything in this game. You get an Archer rally
Yeah,
with 12 Ladens in it, you're gonna be doing really well.
yeah. And I think back to the All Stars format, I like that new Elder Dragon they've put in because now it makes finals a bit more fun. Because for a while, no one really wanted to heal in finals. But now that you've got that incentive of that Elder, I think it's called the Elder Soul, now it really makes people play all three rounds properly. So that's really good.
Yeah, but again, I know C1 and 2, I'm pretty sure RSB and Vig both got 8 Elder Scrolls each. Like that's
So you just cutting out, I think, or my
Oh,
internet
I
might be
said in
cutting out.
C1 and
So
2, I know that
just give me a sec. I
RSP
think
and
that's.
Vig got 8 Elder Scrolls each.
Eight. Oh yeah, it's going to really help
And they
parity in this
probably
game,
had
isn't
the
it?
exact same people
A
get it
lot of
last
parity.
time. So in another 4 months, it's going to be a massive
Yeah,
advantage with that.
that's, it'll be more. Yeah,
And
lots of
probably half of them,
parity.
probably over half of them deserve it. Like most of them don't need help. Most of them are really good
No, their
accounts.
keeps are good.
Yeah,
Yeah, their keeps are so good, and all of them are good players.
yeah.
They'll get it, but
So
just when they're
so
all
with
together, it does hurt.
Viper leaving, X Wing possibly leaving, turnover like this, how long do you think it takes before we see the ripple down effect where like that alliance starts to fall and then other people pass them? Like, do you think Vig will hang on for like
I think
forever or
I
like
think
what?
vegan RSP. I think GOT is going to have a few issues, but Vig's fine. Vig's too big to fail. The guy taking over Viper's Qatar, I actually brought Qatar into Vig a year back, and now he's taking Viper. So basically, like they've just got. I think they're too big to fail now. Like they're so far ahead of everyone that it doesn't matter how many players they can lose. Like they've lost their entire original roster. So when I played in Vig about a year and a half ago for a few months, none of the players that were there when I played are still full time now. They're just filling. Boss is gone.
Boss isn't there? I
All
thought he
the four
was.
original.
I thought
It's
I
just a
thought
filler
Boss
now. I
was the
think.
only original member still there.
But I'm pretty sure he's only filling though. He's not actually running the team. I might be wrong. I haven't been around for a while, but from what I've heard at least. But those four Vietnamese aren't there anymore. Mountain's not there. Kara's not there. Viper's not there now. D4's not there. Um, so essentially, no one from the original roster is actually in the team, and they're still just fine. Like so, I think they're just too big.
Does RSP
Um,
have any original members?
G this has come back.
So
Max
yes. So
is
what? Yeah.
yeah. Max has come back to fill, but not play full time. Um, I think that's it. No, I'm not like Dubs. Yeah, Dubs is still there. Dubs is there before me, and he actually moved from a younger server to learn as well. And he goes back to play in C3 for All Stars. But I think Dubs might be the only one with GEDC. And yeah, look at RSP and Big. All these turnovers. Those two teams are just too big to fail. I think at this point, um, they've done really well, yeah. But X Wing leaving might. I think that. will affect GOT a bit harder than it might for the other two teams.
Well, they've had like 7 or 8 keeps for sale forever and can't sell any of them.
Yeah, people, it's not probably not marketing as great, but at the same time, I think people don't really want to move as much anymore because people like your keeps these days are really easy to get well built because of how much better packs are.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people aren't as like hungry to join on a well built keep already because they can just do it on their own and stay with their team.
I think also people just want to join VIG and RSP because it's
Yeah, that
easier.
might be
Why
it too.
join GOT
Yeah,
and have to struggle
if you
to
just win.
catch up?
Yeah, exactly. You can just win, RSP big nowadays. So it's a lot. It's definitely an easier way out. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think RSP, like some people probably join RSP as well because it is quite a fun community in RSP. So I suppose that might incentivize some people to join them a bit more.
So did you keep up to like were you following the coin strike?
Yeah, I came back. Like I haven't played properly this last year, but I do join Discord every now and then. It's a fucking sham. It's an absolute scam, that thing. Uh, yeah, that thing was an absolute joke.
What
Like
did you think about
with
it? Like when it first started, the
VIP,
leadership, how it
VIP
fell
25
apart.
is so. Our team, I would say, well, I got banned from it a lot of times because I
Me
just kept
too.
saying you guys aren't going anywhere. And it's like, oh, my team's the best now, so now we're going to strike and let everyone else start. Like, mate, it's bullshit. Like, what are you on about? You can't call for a strike after you made your team so far ahead, and now you want to take a break so no one else can catch up. It's ridiculous. Um, I don't think they actually achieved anything either. Like, I saw a message the other day saying that they weren't meeting with their representatives. And also, that was the other thing I really hated. It was like, we want to construct this, but everything has to meet with these 5 people. It's like, why did these 5 people get so much say? What have they done apart from being VIP 25? Also, why are the VIP 25s trying to construct it? It sounds stupid. It's like, it's just a scam.
Yeah, so when I was in
Really
it,
not
I was
over.
in the leadership group with it, like whatever, and I kept saying like, who made up the like agenda that we have? Like, who voted on this? Where's the vote? Like, why don't we ask the community? Like, I'm pretty sure no one cares about this stuff.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
really
think
just
people
had
want to strike for
very
this
money.
stuff. Let's ask people. What about for like medium or low coiners? Like things that
Yeah,
people
it's really
really
just
care
tailored.
about. And they're like, oh yeah,
It's
next
the
time, next
same.
time. The first call's about this, the next call's about this, and I just kept like calling them on their BS, and then I eventually got kicked out of it. But I was like, like
Seemed like a
you're
bit
never gonna
reoccurring.
come around to these other people's demands, never.
No, no, they wanted to strike because their own farms got banned. They got up
Yes.
their farms finally got banned while others were getting banned ages ago, and they got a bit upset. So now they wanted to strike, and they were like, oh well, to get in this for them, someone else says no, let's do this, and they just kick you out. It's fucking
And
ridiculous.
I like how the CoinStrike group now is a coin promotion group. I honestly I called
Yeah, it's
every
just
single thing about this.
it's
So
so
when it first started,
a sham.
It was like September 1st, and then they pushed it
Yeah,
back to September 15th. And I knew there was an Amazon campaign that was ending September 15th.
they're just trying to spend a bit first.
So so
It's
then
ridiculous.
well, and they promoted for it. So then it went on till like whenever they called it off, there was a new Amazon campaign, the one that's like 40%, starting like on that exact date. And then I said to someone else, I said, watch, this whole group is going to be changed. Like the name will change everything. And it's just going to be all about promoting something after, like something that makes financial gain for someone.
Yeah, it's just yeah. I think if they're trying to construct for real, you got to go to All Stars. If you're not going to All Stars, it's pretty obvious what you're trying to do.
Yeah. But lots of people, I don't think too many people got tricked by it, but like people were hopeful of it. I don't think like, I think people were very
Hopefully, yeah.
wary of it the
You can
whole
say that.
time.
Yeah, I think some people did want to make it succeed, but I don't think it ever had a chance to be honest.
Well, of
Like
course
it
not,
hasn't.
because
They'll stay.
at the very start, I was arguing with them saying like, what are you doing giving people permission to buy stamina? Like what?
If you want to construct, do it properly. Stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they're gonna like they haven't made it anyway. They might say that they made big gains and all of this stuff and try and make it sound diplomatic, but no, you haven't. You achieved essentially nothing because people are still spending money. You got farms back, I guess, if that's a win, but you haven't actually done anything for the state of the game at all, apart from get farms back.
Yeah, Evany's just a juggernaut. Like they have their plan.
Yeah,
A little blip in the radar. One event spending was down. They don't care. They'll just release some
yeah,
buffs, and people will spend for it.
yeah. They've got big enough corners that they won't fail either. They lost Phil, they lost Rhythm. You remember those two players, and they're still going fine. People will always come up.
Well, Phil's still playing, and he still spends, but not like before.
Not before, not the same, and they're still doing fine without Phil and Rhythm. Rhythm's been gone for a longer time, so I don't think they care at all.
Yeah, Rhythm's completely
Why would
gone.
they? If
Phil still
I was
spends
Ebony,
because
I
he
would
still
care.
gets the new generals.
Okay, yeah, so probably he does the cake, then I suppose, yeah, that's about it. But like if you're from Ebony's point of view, why would you care? People are still going to spend money even if you don't care. So it's like, why change
But what
that?
what I
Why
don't
change your business
understand,
model?
what I don't understand with Phil, like they could get lots of people like Phil or Small PP before who quit. Just give them a good merge, and these guys will spend to
Yeah,
compete.
and they don't. Yeah, that's what they could get so much more done as well. There's a lot of like of hyper and small PP. Like I know a lot of people. Actually, Frank has always spoken about it. He wanted to stop coining for a bit if he wasn't given a merge. And Ebony, if you're going to listen to this, like quite literally, just give these guys who don't want to be merged with, as long as it's not a ridiculous request, and you'll get so much more revenue.
Yeah, they like hype Hippo too, who you said. We did that. Our whole server stopped coining. We wrote like every day and asked for a merge, and they gave us like the worst
And you
merge of
finally got
all
one.
time. So like I like the
Oh no,
server. I like this like I
that's not
like
good.
I like the server we merged with, but these guys will admit the exact same thing. Like they merged two non-coining servers together. Like they both just a middle
Oh,
finger to
fuck.
both of us.
That just doesn't do anything for you at all.
Like
Then you're like,
those
I'm not
guys
sure how to
stopped
do
coining
merges. So
before
yeah,
us, and they didn't even have a K42 at the time.
doesn't help you at all.
Like it helped us
What they
because they're
need to
actually
do
good
is
players, but they stopped coining way before us. They just quit. They're like, screw this. Evany's been screwing us forever. And then we did the same thing, and Evany's like, let's put these two loser servers together. Shut them
it's a
up.
twisted Christmas present towards you guys. It's not good there. They need to just start merging like medium coin servers as well. Um, and like servers that haven't coined at all, I guess put them with like one whale, and then it might incentivize them a bit more. But yeah, I think because how many times did they merge servers after Orsos? You'd know more about this than me. Is it about 40 servers get merged?
Well, lately it's been like 100. So there should be a
100.
merge
Oh,
coming
really?
up like
Okay.
this week or next week.
Okay, that's good. Well, it sounds like they're getting better at it. I guess it used to be like 30 servers get merged, and that was terrible. Um,
Yeah,
they're
and you had to wait
trying.
like 2 more years for the
I'll give
next
them
one.
that. 2 more years. I'd like to see a quad server merge. Like give Neff one more. That might help them get over RSP and big.
Well, we have four
That'd be
servers.
really
That's how
interesting.
that's how bad our two servers are. It's four
Oh, your one has
servers.
4.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was 4 servers already. Well, and you're still not. Oh my god, that's just terrible.
It's like
No one's playing at
407,
all.
430, 340, and like
Yeah.
312 or something. So both of us had a merge before and then we merged together.
And people still aren't cutting it, so oh,
Yeah.
that's just unlucky. Yeah, I'm not sure you guys will get a 5th one anytime
Every
soon.
every server should have a K45 now. Like that should be what they should
Yes,
do.
100. That's yes.
You
Everyone
cannot
does this.
compete without it.
Otherwise, you can't compete. No, exactly. Yeah, and I think I'm not sure if they're trying very hard to listen to the community, but if CoinStrike was going to try and get something done, it'd probably be talking about mergers. Get like be real strict on mergers. I think that's probably the most important thing for the game
One
right
of my
now. Get
favorite
people
things to
again.
bring up is so in CoinStrike group, other people were bringing up. I didn't want to bring it up because I know the reaction all the time. But other people were bringing up
Yeah.
we need server migration. That like we could buy a server
No,
migration.
no,
And
no.
Oz freaks out on it all the time. No, it'll ruin the game. You can't have
Yeah.
people.
Oh,
It's
I'm
like
not.
because you have a monopoly on recruiting the best players.
Yeah, I understand what Oz would be a bit more upset. I don't think it'd work because I think actually, it'd be funny to see. It'd actually be funny to see now that I think about it a bit deeper. You could get Yeah, actually, I wouldn't mind that. If you're getting all-stars teams to right now, just 20 people joining one team. Um, Logistically, I'm not sure how it'd work. I don't know if it'd work in practicality, but the idea does sound a bit fun.
Yeah, and it would be
Yeah,
like free market, like you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
they'd have to
Everyone can
create
join who they
league.
want. Yeah,
They'd have to change it to like a league system where like you
yeah,
only play
exactly.
people who at the top.
Yes,
Like
that would have.
SVS,
They'd
you
have to
don't
like
SVS,
make
the
sure
top
it
five
works. Yeah,
servers play each other all the time.
yeah. But I guess it'd be an easy way to get a new best team or like a new team to actually compete with Vig and RSP. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I'm not sure it'd work too well, but good to have a try. They need to try and do something new, I suppose. So yeah, wouldn't mind it.
Yeah. All
I'm not
right,
surprised Oz
we're at
might
like
put.
45 minutes. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, thanks for your time, GK. It's great talking to you
Ah,
again.
thank you for your time.
Yeah, it's all good. Have a
Yeah.
good day, GK.
All right, thanks a lot, and hope to see you more active in the community, at least in the discords. I get a good kick out of you guys. Anyone who wants to check out Spedlord, I think you've
Yeah,
been
I'll
have
try.
you been banned from every discord except mine now? Is that why you're in mine recently?
I pretty well. People have been talking to me. It's like, how come Viper? How come you're talking shit about Viper now? It's like, man, I've been doing it for the last year. I just get banned every time I try. So it's like, yeah. um,
That's what I
I
like.
don't. I've
Anytime,
been
if
busy.
I'm in
I've been
another
busy. Yeah.
Discord and I reply back to those
Yeah,
guys, I'm immediately
you get
banned.
banned
But
fast.
they
Yeah,
come to
yeah,
mine,
it's
I'll let them
ridiculous.
shit talk me for like 4 days. And then finally, other
Yeah, that's
people will
what.
be begging me to ban them. They're like, come on, we can't talk about anything. All it is these guys talking about you. Fine, but I don't want to ban anybody.
I'd, I'd say that what I do like, especially yours, because obviously you're from C1. I like the C1, the line chats. Well, you don't get censored. I really hate this new thing where if you say something that's against them, they just ban you. And I'm not one to talk about free speech usually, but it's like let me talk. It's like don't ban me just because I'm saying something different to you. And I really like that. You guys in C1 don't really care
Yeah,
about what people say. Like I'm not going to ban you. You cop it on the chin and you give it back, and that's what you want to see.
yeah, no one gets
Um,
trash talk more than me in my own Discord, and I don't care.
you
Like,
get
whatever.
yeah,
It's all good. I deserve most
it's
of
good you
it.
don't care. No, yeah, like sometimes with video, like I know you put on a bit of a persona for it, but yeah, like I
I
think you
just
still
hate
get
when it's the
overhated a
same
bit.
joke over and over. It's like, okay, but like, do you have another
No,
joke? Like, just saying fifteen
yeah,
dollars, like that's all.
that's what I yeah,
You're
that
basically just
thing
calling
really
me
just
gay
went
for like 4 days now.
be
Yeah,
original now, exactly. Is Vipe had the same thing where he just kept. I actually got super. The first time I got super pissed off was because he just kept saying, "If you've seen him go, oh, I'm poor, guys, help me out." I'm like, mate, you're VIP 25. It was funny the first time. You've said it about 600 times in the last 2 weeks. It's not funny anymore. Like, get a new joke, bro. It's the same as yours with seeing $15 blowjob. It's like, get something new. It's not funny anymore. Good for the first time, not afterwards. Like, get a grip, mate.
yeah, it's all good. I like the community. I like the banter in all of them, and I like observing when I'm not involved, and I could just kind of watch sometimes.
It's always better to watch. It's always better to watch.
Just throw the
Not
eyeballs up
less
and let people
stressful.
know you're there.
Yeah, put the
All right,
popcorn signs
thanks a
on.
lot, Sped, and we'll talk more in
Yeah, I'm
Discord.
good. Have a good night.
All right, see you. You
Yeah, have a
too.
good night.
Merry Christmas.